Brad, you said that you went down to the Salvation Army to help feed those people. Well, they need more than food. They need shelter. And we've got lots of homeless people out on our streets right now that are needing someplace to go. What is happening about those people?
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. I know that as a member of the Lubbock Lions Club, that we are active when working with those folks. I know that a different group within the Lions Club takes a van out every night, maybe not every night, really often, to make sure that those folks that refuse to go to the shelters, the Salvation Army has shelters for those folks. Well, you need to talk to the major. He gave a presentation to our club within the last few weeks, and it can actually be extended. The real problem is the folks that are so independent, they don't want to come in. And so we take a van out, we being the Lubbock Lions Club, take a van out and make sure that those folks that are going to stay out because they want to stay out have a warm meal in their tummy before the cold night. So we're doing that.
They get blueberry muffins and cheese rolls from here on a daily basis. I know that. Our cheese rolls are blueberry muffins that are not taken out to the public, that are not served the next day to them. Next question. Steve, then I'll get you, Michael.
Jennifer, it sounds like you're doing a really good job. Why do you want to change jobs?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that question. I have been fortunate. I do love the job that I do, but the frustration that I hear, thank you. I usually talk loud anyway. Y'all tell me if it's too loud. The frustration that I hear from citizens that call me and talk about the backlog of cases, and actually the judge is the driver in the courtroom. You're kind of like the driver of the bus, and you hold the bar up. I've worked for a judge before that had less than 100 cases on a backlog. Lubbock County district courts are carrying 1,200 to 1,400 cases apiece. It varies depending on when cases are in there. But that goes to our citizens, and I feel like I can make now a bigger difference doing that. I know how the courtrooms run. I have a lot of experience, and I'm in touch with the community, and I think that's really the key right there. Through my church, through our kids' things, National Junior League, and with the Lubbock Women's Club, and my volunteer at Second Helpings, I know what this community finds to be best, and it is to make a difference with everyone. And I think right now, we need to have leaders in our court who are making decisions based on the community for those reasons. And I want to see that come back into the courts. Thank you.
Brad, you want to respond to that?
Yes, thank you, Ron. We actually have 1,000 cases pending per court in the 3 criminal district courts. Some of those cases are fugitives that we can't really do anything about. The ones that we can do about, we set for trial. We set for hearings, we set for trial. If the DA shows up, great, we do it. If they don't, then we don't. It's really a sad kind of cycle. One thing you need to know about me that I didn't get to on my introduction, and I hope my opponent's aware of this, I have proposed a new system called a fourth court or a ghost court. But before I get into that, this is my lovely wife, Cheryl, sitting over here. And I get fired up and I get up here and I start talking and I forget to introduce my lovely wife. Cheryl, I'm sorry again. Now I've embarrassed her. I have proposed a fourth court, a shadow court, a ghost court. It's called several different things. The way we move cases in the courts is we get the prosecutors together with the defense attorneys and they strike a bargain 98% of the time. 1 to 2% of all cases filed require a jury trial. 98% of all cases are disposed of without a jury trial. That requires cooperation between the prosecutor's office and the defense attorneys. The courts came up with a system under my leadership as local administrative judge back in 1999 and 2000. We set up what's called a plea negotiation conference. That's where the majority of our cases are moved. After the plea negotiation conference, if it's successful, then the case is set for a guilty plea or a dismissal. If it's not successful, the case is set for a pretrial conference. At the pretrial conference, the state and the defense attorneys get together again. They exchange all of their pretrial motions, and we're actually headed for trial. If the case isn't disposed of at pretrial, and a lot of them are, but if it's not disposed of at pretrial, then the case is set for an actual trial. At the actual trial, a lot of cases are disposed of then. The prosecutors make a last-minute offer to the defense attorneys. The defense attorneys take that offer, the case is a plea, and we don't have jury coverage. Those of you that have had jury duty have probably heard that process. That happens over and over and over. The fourth court. If we set up, well, first, there's no funding.
Will you hold off on the fourth court for just a minute?
Sure.
I'll let you explain. Let's get to the questions, finish the questions. I'm sure we'll have time at the end for the fourth. Michael had a question, then I'll go to.
Yes, this is more, I guess, history, and most of you may not remember it, but have you ever had any second thoughts, Mr. Underwood, about your leadership on that committee that basically has allowed KeyCorps to be the data processing group forever because it's put in there that they own the software that we've paid them to develop? And I don't guess you're still serving as a consultant for them, but that really has bothered me over the years, and it's something we can't do anything about, and it's a big driver, a big budget cost in our county budget every year.
I know that has bothered you personally, Michael. That's why we visited with you personally back in 1992 to try to explain to you what actually happened, and it wasn't what you had heard. The truth is really not what you have heard. The county commissioners have renewed the KeyCorps contract several times over the last 10, 15 years. I haven't been involved in any of that. The contract, I'm simply not involved in that. That's the county commissioners. I can say, however, as a user, we have the best, the most state-of-the-art computer system in Texas, and in my opinion, in the nation. I've looked at a whole bunch of them. And what we have now is an amazing system. What we would do if we changed is pay a lot more money. I know you think we're paying a lot of money for what we have. You need to consider what it would cost to go somewhere else. It would cost a lot more.
Definitely, because we don't own the software.
Jennifer, would you like to respond to that?
I do know back in 2002 when there was, my opponent had a opponent at that time who was running against him, Bill Warnick. It was brought up about this KeyCorps and the computer system, and that my opponent had sat on the committee to bring that into Lubbock County, and then got off the committee and became a consultant at that time for the computer company while he was the sitting judge. I will say this, I number one have worked with that computer program. There were newspaper reports out there as to how bad it was when it first started and some things that went wrong. I will say this, our office and the DA's office started a paperless system and actually went out and we got some other programs to help us. But two things, my priorities in my life are my family and my faith. And I believe in integrity when you make decisions and honesty. I wouldn't have another job that supplements my income up to $30,000 a year, and I can guarantee you I wouldn't do it if it went into or made it look bad on what I was doing or my impartiality. I believe in transparency in the courtroom. We need to have people in there who tell the community what's going on. We need to make those decisions that we're making in the courtroom based on our integrity and our character. And those are the things that you never, as a sitting judge, want to lend any kind of bias or motive or anything to your job, and so you wouldn't take any kind of position like that. And in my opinion, as a sitting judge, you're a leader of this community, and you're